In today's gaming news, a new video for Wildstar has been released, Steam launches early access, no single-player DLC is planned for Tomb Raider, and a slew of Elder Scrolls Online coverage hits the web. Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. It is Wednesday, March the 20th, and my name is Force, here with your day's gaming news. First up today, a new video for Wildstar has been released, the MMO that is every furry's fantasy. Check it out. Wildstar is a sci-fi fantasy MMO where players explore Nexus, a planet that was once home to an advanced alien race who mysteriously disappeared. The game features a unique path system that drastically changes how you play, with options like Explorer, Soldier, Scientist, and Settler. Developer Carbine Studios says they're heading into beta soon, and we can likely expect more details in the coming months. Oh yeah. Oh, excuse me, furry stuff aside, this game actually seems like it could be pretty cool. I love the whole idea of the path system that's going to drastically change the way you approach the game. My only concern is that this game's been in development for some time now, and with no set release date, these graphics are going to start feeling really dated really fast. Now I know, graphics aren't everything, but it does factor into the equation. Next up in news, Steam has released its early access program, letting you buy your way into betas. Steam Early Access allows gamers to play pre-release versions of select games and offer valuable feedback for the developer. It's essentially a beta testing program for games listed on Steam. In order to try a game in Early Access, you do still have to purchase it, with the understanding that it's incomplete. Some of the Early Access games currently available are Arma 3, Kerbal Space Program, Starforge, and Kenshi. This isn't exactly a new concept, being able to pre-order games to get early access or to purchase your way into alphas or betas has been going on for quite some time now. But this adds some structure within the Steam framework, and it's going to give people early access to the games that probably wouldn't know about it otherwise. But let's just be honest, this is probably just going to lead to more people complaining about playing unfinished products, even though they knew that going into the thing. Next up in news, no single-player story DLC is planned for Tomb Raider, making this one of the only recent games in memory not to make you pay extra for the real ending. During a Reddit AMA with a few of Tomb Raider's directors, it was revealed that DLC for the game will be multiplayer focused only. On the matter, director Noah Hughes said, "Currently there are no plans regarding single-player DLC. Now that Lara is more experienced, we are excited to take her on new adventures that challenge her new strength and confidence. It is important that even as Lara grows as a character, so do the challenges she must face." You know, it's things like this that really make you think twice about all the complaining that's done about post-launch DLC. On one hand, people are going to be excited that they don't have to pay for the real ending, but on the other hand, people who like Tomb Raider, who might have wanted more content, are going to have to wait to the next game, and that's sort of a bummer for them. Last up in news today, a whole bunch of new information for the Elder Scrolls Online has been released over the course of this week, and guess what? You can see your hands! Over the course of the past few days, vast amounts of new information and coverage of the Elder Scrolls Online has hit the web. This all comes following a recent press event for major gaming publications held by ZeniMax Online Studios. Besides new gameplay footage, new details emerged, such as first-person combat will include hands and weapon animations, level 50 characters can group up with players of the opposing factions, controller support is a possibility, and the territory faction lock is lifted at level 50, providing additional challenges for max-level characters. Now, in case you missed the memo, I am really excited for the Elder Scrolls Online. For one, I can't wait for another MMORPG that really pulls me in, but for two, I love the Elder Scrolls, although I'm not entirely convinced on this whole first-person see-in-your-hand business. Just hear me out for a second. I understand that that's been a big part of Elder Scrolls games in the past and feeling immersed in the world, but I think in an MMO, it's just going to be a recipe for disaster, as you don't have much situational awareness. You really can't see what's going on to your sides and behind you, and that's a disadvantage to first-person perspective. And while that's okay in a single-player game with very few enemies at any given time, in an MMO where your teammates are reliant on you knowing what the heck is going on, you're just going to deal with groups of frustrated players, and I think that's just going to lead to people realizing that first-person view isn't really going to work in ESO, which means this might be a huge waste of development time and money. But That is just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today's episode of the show. As always, thank you so much for watching. Once again, this has been Force, and you have just been force-fed. You know what? Scratch that. I'm actually happy that they're including this first-person perspective where you can see your hands and casting spells, because that way people who want to play like that can do so. And I can totally crush them in PvP, because they're going to have no idea what's going on.